um, I feel I feel almost sorry for African Americans because you have so much opportunities, but you hold yourselves back because of this vague idea of racism, and racism. And I bet you that with an attitude like that, you can never rise above the current station you're in.
Charles.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
You
does.
okay? ADOS, what's up, baby? You know,
I'm good.
I had to feel it. You know, that just got me hyped hearing hip hop.
Nice
Now,
sound.
now, my brother, you said that are you saying America is not racist?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay,
I never said America isn't racist. So,
okay. You just tell me what this conversation is going to be, and we'll go with it.
well, we can talk about anything. I think we already scheduled to talk about Glenn some other time. So today maybe we can just do something to prep ourselves for that main conversation. I want to have it on Friday. So
Okay.
let's talk about racism in America generally. So let's just go with that.
Now, hang on. Are you British Nigerian or American Nigerian?
Nigerian, real Nigerian.
Oh, so you live
No,
in so you live in Nigeria, right?
yeah, I do. I live in
Oh,
Nigeria.
okay, okay. All right, go ahead, brother. Speak.
Okay. Um, Although I'm in Nigeria, I've never been to the US, but I follow up with a lot of things that are happening in the US. And one of the very defining characteristic of the discourse in the US is race. There's always something about race. When things happen, maybe it's between a black person and a white person, the race is always invoked. And I just thought that it's been overused. I thought that it is unnecessarily invoked in situations where it might just be some other factors that might account for why this person is acting this way. And I think that Black people in America are being sold um, a narrative of victimhood, of misery, and I think that it's not good for the Black psyche. I know you need to be positive about your environment for you to even rise above a certain level. You need to know that okay, I can with the greatest contributor to my success is going to be my own attitudes, my own ethic, dedication to work, and what exactly I do. But what I'm getting, the feelers I'm getting from the US is that Black people cannot rise above a certain level because racism. And then I look at it and I'm like, I don't think so. I think there's racism. I do think there's racism, but I think that to whatever extent it exists, it doesn't account for the majority of what Black people are facing in America. So this is me speaking as a Nigerian observing from the outside. I may be wrong on some points, but I think I'm generally spot on. So,
Okay, so you're saying that America is racist, right? But
of
but
course, racism is
oh,
it's a human characteristic. Of course, definitely, I'm never going to deny it. But go on anyway. So you wanted to say something? Go on.
no. So you're saying okay, You said racism does exist, but
Of
are you
course, it
saying that
does.
we ADOS Black Americans we're using race as an excuse? Is that what you're saying?
Well, would I say using it as an excuse? I think that it is invoked when it is not necessary, and yes, to an extent, it is being used as an excuse. To an extent, yes, I
Okay,
would say that.
let me ask you this. Um, I'm going to cover the entire scope of human history, right? Name a country that's more racist and has been more racist towards a specific group of people in world
Mm.
history? Just name one country that has been more racist against one specific group of people spanning 350 years. So that's 3 centuries and a
South
half, right?
Africa. South
Name
Africa.
one country. When it
South
based off skin color. Based off skin color. Go ahead.
Africa. South
Oh,
Africa.
South Africa has been racist for 350 years based off skin color.
No, no, no. You said name one country that has been more racist. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, South Africa. I'm not
Yes.
looking at the span of time.
Yeah. Spanning
See,
350
see,
years.
see, see let me stop you there, Idos. I understand the history of blacks in America. I am not going to invoke that history. What we're going to be looking at is as it stands in 2021. Because you cannot tell me that it's as bad as it was 50 years ago. It's as bad as it was 100 years. Racism, it was terrible. But I do not believe for 1 second that at this point in time that racism is sufficient enough to be the major determining factor holding black people back. That is what I'm saying. So you can go all the way and go back to history and see all the evil things that have been done to black people. I acknowledge all that. I know all that. I know there were segregationist laws. I know there were things like Jim Crow, redlining, and all that. I do know that. But in this day and age, as it is 2021, I dare you to tell me how it is as worse as 350 years ago.
Hang on. So
Or
okay. You're saying that 350 years doesn't matter. That's what you're saying. You're saying, hey man, yeah, I agree with you, ADOS. 350 years of slavery and Jim Crow. I agree with you, but that doesn't matter,
never said
right? That
that.
just throw it away. So just throw away. Okay, you realize you're throwing away 90% of the time we've been in this place called America. So you're saying 90% of the time, let's forget about it. Let's focus on this last 10%. Does that make sense? Mathematically, I'm going to ask you, does that make sense?
It makes sense if you want to move forward. If you want to move forward. Now, I believe you have to understand what I'm trying to say. I am saying that racism or whatever happened to black people, it does have an effect. For example, it's had an effect on black people trying to build generational wealth. There's a negative impact on that because they were not able to build generational wealth over the course of years because of laws that were holding them back. Now, it is unfortunate that those things happened, but they have stopped. So at this point in time, I think that invoking what you cannot turn back the hands of time. That's what I'm saying. Truly, you can't turn back the hands of time. And to whatever extent what happened in the past contributes to the current state of Black America, I think it is minimal, if not even less than some other contributing factors. So
Okay,
that's
so
what I'm
would
saying.
you
So
tell the Jews? Okay, will you tell the Jews around the world the same thing?
mm,
Say, hey, forget about the
oh,
Holocaust. No, no,
thank God.
hang on. Tell the Jews,
Right.
hey, that was 80, 90 years ago. Stop talking
Yep.
about the stop talking about the Holocaust and Hitler. You guys wasn't even around. Stop it.
Do you think
Focus on
okay,
today. Then stop all your holidays and all your focusing. Will you tell the
that's
Jews
not
that?
what you're doing? That's not what you Black Americans are doing.
No, no, no.
You're not
I'm
saying
asking you a question. No. I'm asking you a question. Will you tell the Jews that today? Forget about the
um,
Holocaust. Forget, all these celebrations and mournings and festivals they have around the Holocaust and Hitler, and their, their
let me say
grandkids
this.
crying over
Let
their grand.
me say
Will you
this.
say to them, forget about it?
Don't box me into a corner. So let me explain something about the Jews. I am very happy you brought up the Jews because I was going to use them as an example of a people that have gone through the worst kinds of discrimination in their history, right from in the inception of the Jewish state. If you go back to the Bible, if you want to believe that in Egypt, these people have been oppressed. But there's something about the Jewish spirit. They always, even in the midst of such discrimination, the Jews always flourish. The Jews today, what happened to the Jews was it was terrible. 6 million of them was killed by Hitler how many years ago? And today, I can tell you that the Jews have built one of the greatest civilizations in the Middle East, in Israel. And the Jews right now in
Oh,
America, they are doing so well. Let me finish. Now, America hasn't been always been very kind to Jews as well. As you can even know that right today, there's still anti-Semitism in America, but it is not holding the Jewish people back. In fact, the Jews are one of the highest earning people in America. They could as well blame, they could as well just say, oh, you know what, any problems in our society, we're just going to blame it on what Adolf Hitler did to us. But no, they did not take that route. They actually
Oh,
did
hang on.
something. They did something.
Hang on. You're saying a lot. Hang on. You can continue in a second, but let me ask you something. Who saved the Jews from Hitler? The final solution. Hitler said, "I'm going to literally murder all the Jews in the world, starting with Europe." And he supposedly wiped out 90% of the Jews. Who did the Jews save themselves from Hitler, or did the world, like did America and Russia and England come together to stop the Jews from being going
So,
extinct? Because
so,
Hitler was going to extinct them. So the question is, did the Jews save themselves, or did multiple countries come and save the Jews? Because you said the Jews prospered on their own, and that's simply not true. But so tell me, who saved the Jews from Hitler's final solution? Did the Jews save themselves and fight a war within the Holocaust to save themselves, or did multiple countries come and save the Jews and give them a nation?
okay, good. Now,
Go ahead.
two things. Mhm. Did the Jews save themselves? I would say, of course not. Nations came together to get them their freedom. Did the slaves in America free themselves? Of course not. There was a civil war to free the slaves. Now, at
Okay,
that point,
no, stop there, no, because you don't know history, and I knew you were going to say that. Did you know that? No, we were slaves, right? Did you know over
yeah.
200,000 black slaves and free blacks fought in the Civil War on the Union side, and we freed
Compared to
ourselves?
how much
No,
compared
hang
to
on. No, hang on. Let me finish this thought. So when you
thousands
say
compared to how
no,
many Union
no,
soldiers?
hang on. When you
Are
say
you
the
going to tell
Civil
me that
War,
there were no
no,
Jews?
no,
Let,
hang on,
are you going to tell me
hang
that
on,
there were no Jews fighting with the Allies?
hang
There
on.
were
Let me
no
finish.
Jews fighting.
Let me finish. Let me finish. That when you say the Civil War freed the slaves, that is a lie. We black slaves and free blacks fought in the Union and freed ourselves. The Jews, okay, let's turn around with the Jews. The Jews did not free themselves, right? The America came together, the Russians and the Brits came together. If the Jews were left for them to themselves, they would have been extinct. So no, multiple countries came to save the Jews. No, multiple countries came to save us. The Union didn't come to save us in the Confederacy. We had to save ourselves, to the point that Abraham Lincoln said, "Hey, we need the black slaves to fight for us, because if we don't get the black slaves, we're going to lose the war." So Abraham Lincoln begged us blacks to fight in the war for the Union, for our own freedom. Him and Frederick Douglass talked about it. Like, yeah, you guys are going to earn your freedom by fighting this war and winning it for us. So no,
Okay,
you're wrong.
so
So you can't
for the
compare the
sake of
Jews to
this,
us, because the Jews were
for the
saved
sake of
and
this
we saved
argument,
ourselves.
for the sake of this argument, let me agree with you that you you saved yourselves. The slaves saved themselves. They gained their own freedom. Good and fine. That's a very excellent position. Then what? You've saved yourself, so it means you are in a better position to even excel than the Jews, because you had innate capacity to even free yourselves when the Jews could not free themselves. So why? What? Then what? After freeing yourself, then what?
Oh, easy. It's called 100 years of Jim Crow, where the whites were so racist against us. Did you know, like, the Jewish slums, the ghettos? You know where Hitler got
Yeah,
that from? He got it from white Americans. What white Americans were doing to us. See, that's what.
that's
That's
it.
why you're trying to compare Jews and black Americans, Adolfs, and you can't. It's two different things. Like what the whites did to
It's not.
us
It's not
in
because
America, Hitler did it to the
it's not
Jews.
because both. Yes, yes. So in that regard, they are both similar. Both groups went through shit. They went through hell, and one group is faring better than the other. And then you ask yourself, what is the difference? What made the difference in the Jewish case that is not happening in the African case?
Easy,
That's what
easy
I
one.
want to ask.
Oh, okay,
What
yeah,
what
okay.
made the
Let
difference?
me explain it. not only was the Jews saved by America, Russia, and Britain, right? But as a coalition, we gave them their own nation called
So,
Israel, right? We gave that to them. The Jews did not go there and say, hey, we're going to create a country called Israel ourselves. No, they just came from the Holocaust. No,
so that's
no,
so not
no, no,
true.
hey, no,
The
no, hey,
Jews fought in 1948 to create their own
hey,
Jewish
hang on.
state, and British forces were standing by. British forces were standing,
How
Allied
how
forces
could
were
the
standing
Jews
by doing
yeah,
nothing. The Jews fought to create their state. And in fact, immediately the Jewish state was formed, all the surrounding Arab tribes, all the surrounding Arab nations came to start fighting the Jews, and they fought them off. So don't tell me that it was this or this or this. No, 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 no. The Jews fought for their state and they got it.
okay,
So
who hey, no,
now,
no, no. See, you don't understand history. The American
ah,
allies was the one that gave Israel. Okay, to prove my point, let me prove my point. Who protects Israel to this very day? If you're going to sit there and say, "Well, Israel and Jews are so great," let me ask you this: Who protects the Jews, and who gives them? No, hang on, and who gives? No, no, hang on, and who gives them $10 billion almost a year for donations to help their country out to keep going?
give the
Who?
Jews $10 billion,
If
but
you're going to
you
say
are in
that,
America.
no, if
You are in America. You are enjoying the benefits of being in America. So what is $10 billion compared to what it means to be an American
no, no,
citizen?
no,
Have
no,
you
because you
exhausted
said
all
the
the
Jews.
opportunities
No, you,
America
no, no,
presents
no.
to you?
You,
Have you exhausted all the
no,
opportunities that America presents to you?
eh,
Would you rather live in
eh,
America or
no,
rather be
no,
in
no, no,
a country
no.
where you receive $10 billion?
You're
Which
moving it. No,
choose
no,
one?
no. Hey,
So if
you're comparing
I,
us to the Jews. No, no, you're comparing us to the Jews. The Allies gave Israel their country, right? And we backed them with military forces, and we give them billions of dollars per year. Tell me when a white American did that to us, because white America did that to the Jews, right? Tell me when white America has done that to us, right? And you got to
well,
remember, it's worse because hang on, it's worse because what happened to the Jews happened in another
hmm.
continent. This is America. That's another continent. And we still did it for the Jews in another continent. Tell me where the white America has done that for us in this continent, which we built this shit. Tell me. You see how
So
crazy
okay,
this
okay.
is? Tell me.
So okay, what exactly do you want white America to do for you? What exactly do you want white America to do for black people in America?
Oh, easy. Similar to the same thing that we do to the Jews, right? To say, hey, these are a special people who went through some crazy shit, right? And
Mhm.
now we must make what Germany did to the Jews. Germany gave the Jews reparations. And that's what we
Okay.
need as a people in America. The same thing the Jews got from the Germans, we need from white America. Massive
Okay. Is that all?
reparations. That's what we
Is that
need. The Jews got reparations and we have not gotten reparations. And we've gone
is
through
that
more over a longer period of time than the Jews.
is that all you need from
Go
America?
ahead.
Reparations. Is that all you
Oh,
need? Is there anything else white America has to do? So I want to tackle them one after another. Is that all? Is that all you want white America to do before you feel that okay, they've done enough? Is that what you mean? Reparations.
oh yeah.
Is there anything
Hey,
else?
when you Yes, yes. When you
Is there
talk to
anything
ADOS
else?
FBA, that's enough.
Yeah.
All ADOS FBA, all we want is
Mm,
reparations. That's all. Payback. That's all we want. And we'll be fine. We've
okay.
always been fine. We won two wars. The American Revolution, we won ADOS, and we also won the Civil War, right? And we also won civil rights, right? So we'll be fine. But we need those reparations, just like Germany gave Jews the reparations, and then America came on top of that to protect them, and we still give them billions of dollars per year. Like this one guy says, we give them $110 million a month. That's what we need.
Is when
We
you
need
give
that
the give
same
the
massive
so
influx.
it's not unique to Israel. Anyway, so good and fine. You said reparations. Well, to me, I have no issues with reparations, but my fear is that it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to change anything, if
It
at
did for the
all.
Jews. It did for the Jews.
That's a
Go
separate
ahead. It
case.
did for the Jews. No, no, no. It
Now,
did for the Jews.
my
How can
fear,
no?
my
Hang
fear
on. How can you say it won't solve a thing for Black Americans, but it solved it
it
for the
does
Jews? Does that
because the
make any sense?
problem facing Black America today is not a problem of money. I don't think it's a problem of money
It's not a
only.
problem, money.
Money might
Okay.
He might be one of it.
I can tell
Money
you're
might.
not American. I can tell you've never been here. I can tell you've never been here because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I have
Because
family
any
there. I
sociologist,
speak
no,
many,
hang
many.
on. Any sociologist would tell you, like, yeah, the main thing Black America needs is money reparations.
It
Even
does. Hey,
even the World
dude,
Organization said it. So you don't know what you're talking about. I knew it, but go ahead.
dude, dude. This is what we're going to do. Hmm? I'm not going to insult you, and you're not going to insult me. We're going to speak to whatever we're speaking to. So please don't call me stupid again. So now, as I
That
was
is
saying,
stupid to sit there and say that we don't need reparations after we've been robbed for 350 years. That is
say
stupid
you
and
don't need
idiotic. That is a
reparations.
fact.
I said that the problem of Black America today is not just money, and throwing money at it is not going to solve the problem. Now, this is my fear with reparations. They're going to give African Americans whatever monies they're going to give to them, and everybody's going to take their check and then go home. Then what? Then what happens tomorrow? You don't know what this is going to do to the real racists and white supremacists in America. That's going to embolden them, because the next time a Black person complains of anything, they'll say, "Shut up! We already paid you. What else do you want?" That's what they're going to say to you. You think
Okay,
all Black Americans
and
is going to
okay, and this is
disappear
why you're
once they give
ignorant.
them
No, no, no,
money?
no. This is hang on. This is why you're ignorant because the Jews have been getting reparations for the last 50 years. Reparations is not a one-time check. You know, Germany did not go to the Jews and say, "Hey, we're going to hit you off with one check and that's it." No, the Germans still to this very day give
You
Israel
want
and
to be paid
Israelites
for you want to be paid for
reparations.
150
What are you
years.
talking about?
You
See,
want,
you know what? You're talking
you
that
want to be paid
gibberish
for
because you don't know what you're
150
talking about.
years? You want to be paid for 150 years? Is that what you
This
want? You want to
country,
be paid for 150 years?
this country owes us America itself. So 150 years of reparations is nothing compared to what we deserve.
Boy,
See, do you know, you know, this country's
seriously?
built off us, bro. Okay, hey, without
Okay.
us, there would be no America. I'm dead
So
serious. ADOS is dead serious, bro.
that's
Without
false.
us, there
That's
wouldn't be
false.
America. America was built on us, bro. The
False.
Jewish
That's just a
state was
common
not.
lie that America was built on. No, no. America was built partly on that, but not you, because America was also built on industry. America was built on people who were ready to brave the wilderness and conquer it and do other things. So you can't just say America was built on you. No, I'm not going to accept that.
Okay, our president Trump said in 2020 from the White House, he said,
Mm.
"Blacks built America." No, this is the president of America said, "Blacks built America." So it was built
Uh,
off us. Any historian would tell you, like, yeah, the central thing in America for its founding
mm.
was Black Americans, ADOS. Every historian would tell you that. That's the
Okay,
central, the foundational thing in America for slavery and Jim
percentage.
Crow was Black Americans, ADOS.
What
Every historian
percent?
says that.
What America, as at that time, were engaged in a slave trade? What percentage?
Say that again.
What percentage of America was engaged in slave trade? Well, slaveholders.
What percentage of America had slaves in America?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is that what?
During the
Yeah,
during the
okay.
that's
Yeah, okay, I got you. In the South, and yeah, in the South, 30% of all families own slaves. 30%. 30% of all families in the South, that equals
okay in
almost
the South.
400,000 families own slaves. 30%.
Okay, so well, from what I read up, it was about 25% anyway. But that's beside the point. Let me go over to what I'm trying to say. Now, let's take your figure. 30% of families in the South own slaves. It means that if we do some math, it means say the South and the North were equal in populations. Let's say 50-50. It means that 50% of the North, how many of them? I believe that the North were not slaveholding states; they were free states. So I believe
No,
people in the North,
hang on. They own slaves in the North too. All 13 colonies did. They all did.
colonies held slaves, but most of the slaves were in the South, and 30% of families owned slaves, and the other 70% did not own slaves. So, are you going to demand reparation if a white person whose ancestor never owned a slave? Are you going to demand reparation from him?
Yeah, because what you don't understand is that all America ran off slavery. Abraham Lincoln said that. Oh, everybody during slavery for 250 years says, yeah, this country runs off slavery. The founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, George Mason, all the founding fathers, like, yeah, this country is built off slaves, all of it. Like,
Okay,
there's
okay,
nothing that
fine,
you can
fine,
say in
fine,
America that wasn't built off us.
fine. Okay, now slavery was ubiquitous throughout human history. Slavery was not unique to America. There's been slavery in every part of the world. In fact, Portugal imported the most slaves into the New World of any country. But Portugal is not as prosperous as the US. In fact, even Saudi Arabia stopped slavery some maybe in the 1970s or 80s or thereabout. So why are other nations who engage in the slave trade, why are they not as prosperous as America? So what changed with the American case that made slavery so profitable in America, that America is such a great nation today because of slavery, and other nations are not so great because even though they had slaves, they are not as great. So what changed? What was the difference?
Oh, okay, no. See, you know what? You live in Nigeria, right? I appreciate you being here first. I appreciate you, but you simply don't understand how slavery worked in the West. You're reading Glenn Loury and all this other bullshit. Let me tell you, it's very simple how America prospered and the other slave countries didn't. Let's take Brazil. You said Portugal, right? You know what Portugal
Mm,
did? They took all those slaves to Brazil and just took
mm,
all the money and resources out and took it back to Portugal. Now,
okay.
take Mexico, no, hang on, take Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the same thing. Spain
Mm,
took all the money and wealth out of Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic and took it back to Spain. See, America kept all the wealth here. See, the other
yeah.
countries took all the wealth back to Europe and left every country bankrupt, like Haiti. France took the money out of Haiti and took it back to France. See, America is the only country that kept the money here. So when people say, well, how come Brazil and Puerto Rico are so poor? That's because the countries took all the money back to Europe. America kept the money here. That's why we're
Fair,
prosperous. There's no other
fair
difference than
point.
that.
Fair point. Okay, fair point. Let me say that. But that is assuming that money and resources are finite, which is not the case. Brazil and America, Brazil and the other states, a lot of things were pillaged from them, but it doesn't mean that currently that's still being done to them. Is it? Is that still the case? Is Portugal still
Um,
extracting from Brazil those resources?
no, because when they left them bankrupt. Like Haiti, check this out. When the France
I
left
understand the
Haiti,
case of
they
Haiti.
left them bankrupt.
Haiti is,
They
if
left
there's
them
any
bankrupt. That's
country,
what happened.
if there's any country I'm going to fight for reparations for, I think Haiti is a perfect case. I think the Haitians, they deserve reparations from the French, because I still think till today they are still being extorted and somehow they're still paying money to the French. That's a separate case. But in the case of Brazil, after slave trade ended and all the Europeans had ended and Brazil has its independence and all that, it means that they were no longer taking resources from Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if Brazil stagnated, you have to say um, Brazil stagnated because so much was taken from them. You can only say that if you believe that wealth creation is finite, if there's a limit to wealth creation, which is so not true. I mean, wealth is being created on a daily basis. So for the fact that a region was exploited in the past does not mean that going forward they cannot develop and they cannot have as much wealth. Britain was pillaged by the Romans. They did well afterwards. So many other places were pillaged by other powers after some time. They did very well. You understand? So
No,
why?
no, hang on. Let me answer this. You got to remember, Britain was the world's biggest slavers. So after they pillaged the whole damn world. So that actually works against your point. Go ahead.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work against that. It doesn't work. Well, it just goes to show you that wealth creation is unlimited, that no matter how much has been pillaged from a place, as long as the expectation does not continue, you would, if the society is industrious enough, they would be able to generate wealth from themselves. Take for example, let's look. I was watching a Milton Friedman video some other time, and a student asked him that um, um, what happens when all the resources are exhausted and resources are limited? He said, no, resources are not limited. Then he asked him a question. In the 1800s, how much oil did we have in the world? The kid said, no, none. Because oil had not been discovered then. So it was not a resource that people knew to exploit. Now, going back 30 years ago, ask yourself, how many big tech companies were in existence then? None. But technology is it's one, if not the biggest industry in the world right now. So in another 20 or 30 years, a resource that we have not yet discovered is going to be discovered, and it's going to be a source of wealth creation for people who are ready to tap into it all over the world, barring where they're coming from, barring their history. So the point I'm trying to make is that I do not discount the fact that what happened to a people has an impact on their current situation. What I'm saying is that that is in the past. What can you do
Okay, you
currently?
can't.
Because you cannot
Hang
turn
on,
the hands.
hang
You
on.
can't turn the hands.
You can't say.
What can
You
you
can't
do
say. Well,
currently?
yeah. No. You can't. No. You can't say. Yeah, the past affects you, but let's forget about it and move forward. That doesn't make any sense. If the past affects you, it
Let me give
affects
you
you.
let me give you an
You,
example
you
of
can't say
let me give
forget
you an
about it.
example. Let me give you an example of an ethnic group in my country that has demonstrated my points very well. They are called the Igbos. Now, the Igbos in Nigeria during the Civil War, 1967 to 1970, because they wanted to break away from Nigeria, there was a civil war. And after the Civil War, all Igbo properties were confiscated, and Igbos were given £1, irrespective of how much wealth they owned before. £1. But I can tell you today that the Igbos, even though they are still politically marginalized, they are one of the most successful business group in this country. When you talk about individual wealth, this is from 1970 up until this point with £1. They were not giving back their wealth. The Nigerian state robbed them of what they had, and they were all given £1. And within the space of how many years, they have outclassed other ethnic groups in terms of material wealth. And that is explainable in by the way they do the things, the way they do business, the way their approach towards business. The Igbo man is not so much concerned about sitting in the class and learning so much theory and all that. He has a super intellect in terms of business acumen, and they have this entrepreneurship system that has created more millionaires in my country than any other system. Now, the Igbos could very well say that we're not going to do anything. We're going to wait for the Nigerian states to give them reparations. In fact, we're going to wait for them to give us back what they took from us. We don't even want reparations. Give us, but no, they were not giving that. They were giving £1. And from £1, they have built millions, they've built billions. That is
Okay.
an example of
So
society.
were the
So for
Igbos? Let me
people
ask
who are
you. So were the Igbos shadow enslaved and sold like pigs and cattle for 250 years, and then Jim Crow for another 100 years? So are you telling me, because if you're going to make an equal equation, it has to be equal? So are you telling me the Igbos were enslaved and sold like
just I'm
pigs
just
and cattle for 250 years, and then Jim Crow to the point that Hitler copied it for another 100 years? Are you saying they went through that? Because if they did, we got an equation. Because if they didn't go through that, then your equation does not work. Yes or no?
it is this is what I'm trying to tell you, that people
No.
can
I
come
asked you
from
a question. No. I asked you a question. Did
answer.
the
No, don't
Igbos
box me
get
into it.
shadow
Don't
enslaved for
box me into a
250
yes.
years and Jim Crow for
Don't
100
box
years?
me.
You won't
Don't
answer
box me
because you
into a
know
yes or
your
no.
example does not work. Stop being
Let me finish
intellectually
my
dishonest. Answer the damn question. Were the
point.
Igbos enslaved for 250 years in Jim Crow like us in
You
America?
can you
Yes
can
or
rant
no?
you can rant as
Yes
much as
or
you want.
no?
I'm going to answer the questions
Yes
where I
or
want to
no?
answer it.
So you won't
Let
answer
me
a question
let me
because
get
you're a
to my
coward.
point.
Keep going.
Let me get to my point. Let me get to my point. Well, I'm not going to insult you, but that's good. Um,
No, you
Now,
insult me because I know where I stand.
what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is that people can come from disadvantaged positions, and then they can become wealthy, they can overcome that situation. There is no case in history where you have two cases being similar. Even the Jewish case is not similar to the African American case. You can never find an equivalence of what happened to one people, similar situation happened to another people. But the baseline is that at a certain point, these people were disadvantaged. And what did they do from that point going forward? Of course, the Igbos were not, they were not sold like people in America. You think I'm not going to answer? I'm going to answer that. Of course, they were not. But they also came from a disadvantaged position. And from that
Okay, but okay,
disadvantaged position,
no, no,
they
no,
were
no.
able to build wealth.
No, no, no. You can't compare us to them. You just said, of course, they were not sold like cattle and pigs for 250 years like Adolf. Of course, they were not Jim Crow like Hitler did to the Jews for 100 years. Therefore, you cannot make that equation. It's not even close. It's not even close. I would give you close. It's not even close. You admitted it. Like, yeah, you're right. It's not even close. So if it's not even close, then why do you make that comparison? You can't make it, so take it back. Start a new equation, but that does not work. You just admitted it. You just refuted your own point. You said, yeah, the Igbos do not compare with ADOS. No way, no how. Then that point does not work. You lose that point. Let's move on to the next point. Go ahead.
You know what? I feel I feel almost sorry for African Americans because
No, don't feel
with,
sorry. I feel sorry for
with that
Nigerians because you guys got 150
kind of
million people
intelligence.
starving. You're the poverty capital of the world. So please do not feel sorry for me. We're here to debate about racism. Is it real or not? And does it affect us? Because if you want to talk about feeling sorry, I feel sorry for 150 million Nigerians who live on $1 and less. I feel sorry for those Nigerians starving to death, literally. I feel sorry for 20 million Nigerian women who have their vaginas chopped off called genital mutilation. I feel sorry for all those 10-year-old, 9-year-old girls married to grown men in Nigeria called child brides. I feel sorry for 25% of Nigerians that don't have a toilet to piss in. I feel sorry for Nigerians who raided a storehouse for rice like ants on piece of chicken. I feel sorry for your people. Don't feel sorry for me. We're having a conversation about is racism real in America? But if you're gonna pull that, I feel sorry for you. Look at your own damn country. You're the poverty capital of the world. How dare you
Are
say
you
you feel
done?
sorry for me? How dare you feel sorry for me?
Done? You're getting
Go
yourself
ahead.
worked up.
No,
Don't
go ahead.
have
No,
an
go
answer
ahead.
over this.
I'm
Are
gonna
you
shut
done?
up. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
So I will still say this. I feel sorry for you because you have so much opportunities, but you hold yourselves back because of this vague idea of racism, racism, and racism. And I bet you that with an attitude like that, you can never rise above the current station you're in. That's just the truth. Whatever you have said about my country, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. We have our own issues. We're dealing with them. We're going to deal with them. But I'm telling you that you are in a unique position to take advantage of what America presents to you, and all you do with it is complain, racism, racism, racism. And by the way, we did not even talk. We didn't talk about. We didn't even hit the nail of whether racism is still affecting African Americans today because we just took it back to history. So let's come back to 2021. What are those things about America that is so racist that is holding Black Americans back today? I'm not looking at 350 years ago. Let's talk about the present situation. So what are those things currently, those racist things that Black Americans still have to deal with in America today? So go.
Easy. Okay. See, for 350 years, the white man gathered all the power and the resources, right? Not all,
Oh,
but almost
come
all the power and
on,
almost all the
come
resources. No,
on.
no, hey,
I
no, hey,
just told
hey,
you.
hey,
I
hang it.
just told
You
you.
said,
Let's not.
no, you said, hang on. I'm going
Oh,
someplace, brother. I'm going someplace,
I,
right? Now, the white man gathered almost all the power and almost all the money and almost all the resources in those 350 years. And now the white
okay.
man is no, hang on. And now today in 2021, the white man is in that powerful position because of what he did
Mm,
to us for 350
mm,
years. That's how
mm.
come one can say America is still racist today. It's because the system that put the white man on top is still in effect, right? So
Okay.
that's why America is still racist because the system that the white racism created for 350 years is still in effect. I'll prove it to you. If you go to the ghettos of America, you're going to find mostly black people. If you go to the
Okay.
suburbs or the best parts of the city, almost white people. Well, how did that happen? Well, for 350 years, the white man got the best of the best. So the white man today in 2021 lives in the best of the best. Not because he's smarter or better, because he stole and robbed everything for 350 years. And now he has most of the money, most of the power, most of the resources. So no, he's got the best of the best in 2021 solely because he stole the land from the Indians and stole the labor from blacks for 350 years. So 2021 is just a reflection of what the white man has done for 350 years. You see what I'm saying, brother?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey, give yourself a heart attack. Calm down. Okay. Ados, I listened to all you said. But I'm afraid I'm going to say that a lot of the times people invoke this big systemic issue. Now, I want to believe that in the majority of black neighborhoods, you have what's your smallest unit of government? What's the smallest unit of government over there in America? Is it county? Is it I don't know. What's your smallest from a state level to help me out here? What's your smallest unit of government in America? Like
The
you have
local,
you
the
have
local,
you have the
it's
federal
local, state, yeah, local, the local government.
okay. Okay, so now in these black majority areas, blacks have the ability and the right to choose their own leaders, right?
Oh
They're
yeah,
free
go
to
ahead.
choose their own leaders, right? They're free to
Yep.
choose their own leaders. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so and I also presume that in some of these black majority neighborhoods, there will be a strong tendency towards picking candidates that would be favorable to the black cause, if not even black themselves. Correct?
See, that's where you're wrong. Malcolm X said this. There's a
No,
saying in
no, don't
America.
post. I
No,
was asking a
no, no,
question. You,
yeah,
yes or no? You
I'm
did
telling
that
you.
with
No,
me.
okay,
Yes,
no,
yes,
okay, no,
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 yes or no.
no,
So blacks
no,
cannot choose leaders currently in America in
no.
their
I
own
said
local
they could.
community.
No, no, no. What you don't understand is that
No, no, no,
politician.
don't do
Hang
that.
on, hang on,
Ados, don't do
hang
that.
on.
Don't do that. Answer
No,
my
hang on.
question. Yes, you said this
No,
president. You said the president of yes or no. So are you telling me that in black neighborhoods, in black majority neighborhoods, that blacks cannot choose their own leaders?
no. Blacks choose
They
the
can't choose.
leaders. No, no, no. Hang
Mhm.
on, hang on. Let me explain. I'm going to make it very simple for you. Blacks choose their leaders,
Yes,
right?
yes or
Through
no.
voting.
No,
Hang,
before you
no,
give the
hang on.
explanation.
Let me finish. But these black leaders are paid by
Mm.
white people, so they have to meet the
So
white
basically,
interest.
your people are sellouts. Your leaders are sellouts.
Exactly. You got it, baby.
Oh, go then. Why don't you go and get your leaders and crucify them instead of saying America is racist up and down? Go and meet your leaders and tell them that they're failing their basic responsibilities. I mean,
We
if you
do.
vote someone in,
No, no, we do.
they're
We
not.
do. We
They're
have.
not. See. Let me tell you
We do.
something. Let me tell you something, Ados. If you're holding your local leaders much more uh, accountable to providing for their communities, you wouldn't even be concerned whether there's racism or not, because if your leaders are doing what they're supposed to do, then your communities will be better. And if you are the ones picking those leaders, then you have to share some blame that you're picking trashy leaders that are not fulfilling their own functions. You have to, you see how now you have to take some part of the responsibility for whatever is happening to you in America. You can't just blame it all on the system. You can't just blame it all on the
No,
system,
no, no, no.
because there is a
Hang on.
process in place. Let me finish. There's a process in place to pick your leaders. And these leaders are supposed to represent your interests. And if they're not representing your interest, then you have the right to kick them out. So if those leaders are failing, it's either you have picked the wrong people, you're not holding them accountable, it's either of those, and somehow it is still your fault or your leader's fault. Who happened? Some of them happen to be black. So what are those black people doing for their communities instead
No,
of
no, no. Hang on,
telling the
hang on,
people
hang on.
the reason why
All
you're
right.
like this is systemic racism, America,
Hang
racist,
on. This
racist,
is what
racist.
you don't understand. Okay, no, no. This is what you. Here's another thing you don't understand about politicians. Not only
Okay.
are the black politicians in the cities, right, where blacks live, funded by white people called the Democrats, right?
Mm,
There's laws in place. So even when
mm,
you get a great leader, just say like Martin Luther King
mm,
Jr., perfect example.
mm.
There's
Don't go
laws
back
in
to the
place. Like no,
1960s,
no, no,
please.
no,
Let's
no.
focus on
But
today,
I'm
guy.
talking
Let's
2021. Hey, I'm talking 2021. But the same applies
yeah.
to Martin Luther King Jr. It's the same thing. You have to
Okay.
go through laws. And even if a black politician wanted to help blacks specifically, he couldn't do it
Uh,
because the laws set in
what
place won't
what
allow it. You
what
see what I'm saying?
what
So there's
specific
two
law
things
can you?
work. No, hang on. No, I let you speak. There's two things
Okay.
going on. That the black politicians that get elected are backed by the white backed by the white people who have the money. And how did they get the money? From slavery and Jim Crow, right? So not only are they backed by the money, these black politicians, but even the ones who really want to help us, they still can't do that much because of the laws set in place. You see, America
Okay.
is a very law-ridden place. So, and where do these laws come from? White people. So it's a white man backing the black politicians. And even if he wanted to help, you still have the white laws in place that restrict the black politicians from
Okay.
helping the black citizens. So no matter how
All right.
you go
Okay.
about it, it comes back to the white man and racism. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Let me say I accept what you said, that there are laws that are holding even the black politicians from doing their basic functions. Although you made me understand the other time that those politicians were actually sellouts, but let me ignore that point. So I want to ask, what specific laws are there in America today that are holding the black politician from performing their functions to their own communities? So what specific laws?
Easy. If a black politician says, "Hey, I want to give $10 million directly to ADOS," do you know the laws were like, hell no, before you give $10 million straight to the, just say a black politician's like, hey, these people are really poor in the ghetto. And I, as a black politician, want to just give them $10 million where they can pay their rent and get grocery and other stuff. The law say, no, you have to go through all these, the Republican,
Which
the
laws?
Democrat, the Senate. No, hang on, and hang on. No, hang on. No, you asked me a question. So the black politician, even if he said, I want to give blacks $10 million in this section to help them out, he couldn't do it if he wanted to. He has to go through all kind of lobbying and all kind of processes that go through the white man and his white structure. You see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
he can't do it. That's why he can't do it. So you don't
You haven't
understand
answered
that.
my
He can't do it.
you don't Ados, you haven't answered my question. My question is what specific law? But you didn't quote a law, you just gave an explanation of something that may or may not happen. So what specific laws are there
Okay.
that
That
are that are discriminatory in terms of black people getting legal funding for their communities, not funding of some you want to do, not social welfare programs. I'm talking about, okay, these funds are supposed to go into school development, these funds are supposed to go into infrastructure, this fund and mind you, in my own estimation, there's a limit to what government can do for people, no matter how much they want to be reliant on the government. So I'm asking you, what specific laws are there right now, 2020 in America, that would tell a black politician this money cannot come to you, and it is clear that that law is discriminatory? What specific law?
what you don't understand is, and you're missing because you're not American. A black
Hmm.
politician cannot sit there and say, I am going to give black people anything. It has to be
Hmm.
done through, no, hang on. It's called the Senate, the Congress. There's politicians in every area, local, state, and federal. You have to go through a bevy of politicians before you get anything passed. Anything you want to get passed, you can't do it yourselves. You have to go through a bevy of politicians. You know what Obama said? Obama found that out. Obama said, hey, I want to do certain things for black people, right? He goes, but he goes, Congress won't let me. He goes, I thought I can just do certain things. And he goes, no, you can't. You have to go through a bevy of politicians before you can get anything passed. And he goes, therefore, they're not letting me do any of these things I want to do, so I can't do them. So even Obama said it shocked him. He goes, I thought when I became the president that I could just do what I want to. No. He said, no, you have to go through a process. And that process, whether local, city, state, or federal, is controlled by white people. You see what I'm saying? So that's how come we can't get what we need as black people in the inner city, because that process always goes through the hand of the white people. And why? Because they got most of the resources and money and power from slavery and Jim Crow, from us, ADOS, FBA. That's what you don't understand. Go
those
ahead, brother.
um those 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 processes, they're only unique to African Americans. They're not the white people don't have to go through that process when they're trying to get funding. And
Oh,
another thing.
no. Hang on, that's funny you said that. That's funny you said. You know why? Because you're a lie. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you know how the white man got all this damn money and power and resources? They did it the same damn way. They did it through a process. When they said, "Hey, you know what? Let's steal the land from the Indians." You know what they did? They went through a process. They went to the Congress, they went to the Senate, and they said together, no, no, hang on. They said together as a government, we're going to take the damn land from the Indians. And they did it. They passed the
I'd like
laws
to
called
add,
the Indian Removal of 1862, and they did it. They did it through the same process they did it to us to keep us enslaved in Jim Crow. They did it to the Indians. It's the exact same process, except the white man uses that process for his gain, and then he uses that same process to keep blacks down as a whole and the Native American Indians. So it's the same process, but the white man abuses it, and that's a fact that any historian will tell you is absolutely true. Go ahead.
all right, Edos, I want us to wrap this up in say 4 minutes, 3 minutes. I want it to be just an hour long, so we'll be wrapping up soon. But let me just chip in what I was trying to say the last time. So you agree that also the white people also go through that processes, and you want to submit that the process is not as tedious for the white people, or it is rigged in their favor for them to get whatever they
Yes.
want. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All historians
Now,
say that. Yeah. All historians say that. Yep.
okay. Now, all local governments, do they have statutory funding coming to them for certain things like education, healthcare, and all that things? Do they have statutory funding coming to them, or do they have to go beg in hand in cap every time they want? Every month they go beg hand in cap. How is it done?
Oh, the money comes from the state and the federal government. Every local government gets their money, well, local taxes, but the bulk of the money from any district comes from the city and the federal government. Yeah. So they have to go to the state
I'm
and
not
the
saying.
federal government and say, hey, we need this. Yeah.
So there are no statutory provisions for money to come directly, even without you having to ask. So you have to ask, like because
What?
in my country, the federal government disburses funds to the state governments, which disburses it to the local government, and it's statutory. You don't have to go beg hand in cap. It is stated that this allocation would naturally go to these states. These allocations from these states will naturally go to this local government. So you say that's not the case. That every month, if for any city to get an allocation, they have to go beg the states. Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say every month. I said that the money comes, it comes from taxes, local taxes,
No,
but
no,
the
no, no.
bulk
I'm
of
not
it
saying
comes from
how
the
where the
state and
money
the
comes
government.
from. I'm not saying where the money comes from. I'm saying how is the money disbursed? Is it disbursed with a process that you don't have to go ask for it? Because it's when you go ask for it, that's when you have to meet all those hurdles. If it is statutory that this money would come at every point in time, I'm just trying to find out that that's what I'm trying to find out. So which is it?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what do are you saying that where does the money come from every month?
Oh, no, 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 no. How does the money get to the communities? How does the money get to
Yeah,
the local government? How does it get?
yeah,
I
this
know it's collected by
the
the
state
taxes.
and yeah, state and federal government. Yeah, they
How?
decide.
How?
It's
Not where. How?
oh, through
Anyway,
state and no, no, through local, state, and federal agencies. Every state, every city has local, state, and federal agencies that distribute the money. So that's how it's done through local, state, and federal governments in every city. Yep, that's how it's done. Go ahead. You
okay,
can finish up.
so
Go
it
ahead.
was it's been a pleasure talking with you. I enjoyed this discourse, and I'd like us to have some more conversations some other time. So I would want us to do the other one in my channel. So I would, when I'm ready for it, I'll send you the link, and then we can do it over my channel. And if it pleases you, we could do this every week. I come to your channel this week, next week you come to my channel, and let's talk about these things. What do you say?
Yeah. Hey, and I want to say, thank you for coming here. I honor your presence. I'm just really passionate, so I don't mean to disrespect you, but we
As
ADOS
well.
FBA, we're very passionate people. But I respect you as a man, as a human being, and I honor your presence here. And I apologize if I offended you or anyone from your
Oh,
country because we come from Nigeria too, right? So I just want to let
so
you know, brother, that I respect you and honor you, but we are passionate people. And I get this a lot. ADOS
Yeah,
we get this a
you
lot.
got the
People
passion from
say you guys are
Africa. You're
passionate.
passion from Africa. So I'm more passionate than you. If that's it.
Okay, well, I don't know you that well, but I know we are very passionate people in America because we've gone through a lot, so we're very passionate. But I'll let you go, but I appreciate you, brother, and I honor you, and
All
I'm
right.
very thankful for your presence. And so I don't want you leaving here thinking like, well, this guy is an asshole, he's disrespectful.
No,
No, I'm very
no.
passionate, but I want to tell you before you go, I respect you, I honor your presence, and I think you're a wonderful human being and you're doing great things. We just happen to disagree. But I do respect you and honor you. And I wish you well in all your endeavors and your YouTube channel and in Nigeria. So I'll give you the last word and we'll end it right now. Go ahead. You get the last
Okay.
word. Go ahead.
My black brothers in America, this is my word to you. I understand the challenges you're going through, but I want you to look beyond the issue of race and see what other areas you can better yourselves, what other avenues you can use to improve your lot. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. You have to save yourselves. And if you're going to have to do that, then you have to believe that there are no barriers that um, you cannot cross. And with that kind of attitude, the effects of racism will pale in comparison to what you have been able to achieve. So that's my word for you African Americans. So till next time, Ados, nice talking to you. We'll do this again and again. So have a great day.
You too. Thanks a lot, brother. I wish you well.